Hello and welcome to the Munro Method Clancast. I am Jason Munro and this is episode 90. I am very giddy because I am so far behind with podcast episodes. No excuses, I've not prioritized it. I worked on countless big projects throughout the summer. After the summer, I think I went away for my birthday and I had scheduled an episode up to like the 2nd or 3rd of August, whatever the Friday was. And then I didn't get back to it since then. A few weeks ago, I was like, right, I'm going to sit down and record 5 episodes. And I did sit down and record 5 episodes. And do you know what? The sound was fucked. I had it set to the wrong microphone. I recorded 5 episodes back to back, 20 to 30 minutes each. Went in to extract the audio from them to do the stuff that I do to upload to YouTube and for Spotify and everywhere else. And there was not a sound coming from them. So I very much went in the huff and didn't record another one. But today I have sketched out 8 episodes. I am going to record 8 episodes back to back today. We are starting with why fad diets don't work and what to do instead. Fad diets. So fad diets by definition are fads, right? Fleeting things that come and go. I have been doing what I've been doing since January 2018, but I was aware of this area from like mid 2016 into 2017. I have seen lots of things come and go over the years, some of them going as fast as they came. Some of them hanging around for a little while but disappearing. Like more recently, blood sugar has been the big hype towards the end of 2023. Tim Spector and the Zoe Diet and people like the Glucose Goddess got us all very hyped up and terrified and scared of our blood sugar spikes. Then they sold us a solution to that. Well, if you just come and spend £300 to get your shit tested, we'll hook up a little monitor to you and we'll find out how to get rid of those blood sugar spikes. All very well done, all very cleverly marketed, and sadly just preying on the ignorance of you. I mean, many of you listening to this have probably had a Zoe monitor fitted. You probably paid the £300 to have your shit tested. And what did you learn? Well, I learned that if I don't eat fruits and vegetables, I get big blood sugar spikes. What a revelation. So I've given Zoe Diet a hard time on Instagram quite a few times. And for the most part, people agree. But there is the odd person who comes through and like, well, I've got this medical condition and it really helped me. Awesome. You know, obviously there's going to be some people that that benefit from it. But for the vast majority of people, for the general population, useless, waste of money. Just one more thing to add to the list of stuff that did not help you lose weight. Anyway, fad diets. So I work with a lot of people who have come, in fact, almost everyone I work with, 98%, 97% of the thousands of people I work with have come from a fad diet, yo-yo diet background. So they have histories of Slimming World, Weight Watchers, Slim and Save. What was that one somebody told me? It's Slim Ways? Something. Do you know, just to go off on a tangent here, that's actually, I want to look it up now. Because I forgot all about this guy until this person. It's not Slim Ways. Shite. What is it? Slim. I thought it was Slim Ways. Ah, that's annoying. I'll tell you the story anyway. So I can't even remember the guy's name. I did a post about him a couple of years ago. So there's this guy who runs this program called Slim. I thought it was going to come back to me. Slim something. And you go on the website and it bangs on and on about this guy. I feel like his name's Gerard something. Whatever his name is a world-renowned speaker. He speaks at all these public events and blah, blah, blah. And now he's doing this Slim and Something program, and it's been running for a few years, right? So this person came to work with me last week. When I say last week, this is the 3rd of October today for me. I'm going to backdate this episode to the start of September, and every episode after will be backdated to look like it came out then. It's just for when people are catching up on them in the future, it's much easier to have them all laid out. So anyway, she joined this week, and she had just came off the back of that. She said what most people say: I've been doing this, I've lost some weight, but I know it's not sustainable because I won't keep up with it forever. I want to learn how to eat properly. That's why people come to me. But anyway, this guy, I'm sure his name's Gerard or Jerry, world-renowned speaker Jerry something, has spoken at all these events, and he's highly sought after. If you Google the guy, he doesn't fucking exist. He does not exist. Didn't have a Facebook, didn't have a LinkedIn, doesn't have an Instagram. All he has is whatever the business name is. And it's like his wife is one of those ones where they've just set up a business. Like, it's people who have had multiple businesses in the past. They've decided to put, let's put a hand into weight loss and see how we can do with that. What can we come up with? But you would think that if someone was a world-renowned speaker who was highly sought after, you would be able to get in touch with them. Like, how do people book them to speak at all these events? Anyway, that's going to annoy me. Slim Ways. Maybe it's ways as in like weight. Slim weights? Slim ways? As in weighs someone? Slim weight? Nah, it's not that. Oh, maybe come back to me. Anyway, fad diets. So, fad diets. So, this just comes back to the same thing that I preach and teach through Instagram, through my emails, through all my marketing, my overall messaging. The same message that I've been spreading since 2017 is that people fall into two categories when it comes to their weight, right? There are people who want to keep eating the way that they eat. They want to keep drinking the way that they drink. They want to keep using food the same way that they use it, right? But they also don't want to be overweight. But they don't want to let go of the way they eat. But what they're happy to do is take a temporary break from it. So let's say, well, where are we now? October. Okay, we're coming up to Christmas. Why not? Even though this is going to be backdated to the start of September. But we're coming up to Christmas, and people are going to start thinking about all the weight that they're going. They don't start thinking about weight loss. They start thinking about all the weight they're going to gain at Christmas because they want to, because they get very excited about it. They can't wait to start stocking up on Baileys and mince pies and going to Christmas markets and doing all the Christmas stuff. And so they rightly should. But they know themselves well enough to know that every Christmas in the past, they step on the scales on the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th of January, and they are 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 pounds heavier. So the wheels start turning and they start thinking, right, I am currently 12 stone. I do not really want to be adding another stone to this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to crash diet, and I'm going to lose a stone to make way for the stone that I'm going to gain at Christmas. Now, some of you will be listening to this, nodding along, saying, yep, that's me. Some of you will be cringing, thinking, Christ, that's what I used to do. It doesn't matter what point you're at. This is what some people do. And there are people who are happy to do fad diets. That's why fad diets exist. And it's why fad diet, like, everybody knows they don't lose weight and keep it off following a fad diet. There's probably a third category here. But the first category is there are people who genuinely want to yo-yo diet, who are happy to yo-yo diet because they love the way that they eat. They love eating to excess. They love drinking to excess. Yes, they don't love what it does to their body. Yes, they don't like gaining weight, but they don't dislike it enough to stop doing it, right? In the same way that people hate hangovers, but they don't hate them enough to stop drinking, although sometimes they get to a point where they do. So then there's the other category of people who want to believe that fad diets are the solution. They want to believe that they can lose 60 pounds in 60 days. And they want to believe that somehow that's just going to magically stay off. And then there's a final category who realize that fad diets are a waste of time, and those are generally the people that I start working with. Right, they're in their 30s, 40s, 50s. Somebody, a 66-year-old lady, came to work with me this week. I've worked with people in their early 70s even, who are exhausted, tired, had enough. They are at the end of their yo-yo dieting career, and it's time to settle down. It's a bit what it's like, right? It's almost as if someone's been enjoying the single life and they've had lots of fun, but now it's time to settle down and just, see out the rest of their life with a husband or a wife or whatever. But that's what it's like, right? Okay, I've yo-yo dieted for 30, 40, 50 years. I cannot keep going to Slimming World meetings. I cannot keep going to Weight Watchers groups. I can't keep spending money on shakes and pills and potions and whatever other nonsense. It's time to actually find something sensible that is going to help me lose weight and keep it off. And those are generally the people that come to work with me, right? So yeah, what was the point again? Fad diets, why diets? Okay, so yeah, back to the point. The message, the same messaging that I have been saying for years and years and years, is that if you want to lose weight, not just lose weight, if you want to lose weight and then go on to keep it off and then go on to maintain it, a fad diet is not going to help you achieve that, right? Because fad diets are things that have you follow ridiculous sets of rules. Like so many people I work with are like, they'll fill in their mini check-in form. I'll read through it, and I ask about their diet history, and they will almost always say something like, "I've had most of my success," and and I always kind of say to them, "Look, you've not had any success. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. If you were a successful dieter, you would be living life at maintenance right now, and you would have been there for years, not yo-yo dieting for the last 50 years. This idea of success is drummed into people through, especially with Weight Watchers and Slimming World and any kind of group mentality, where they're constantly beating you over the head with weight loss equals success. Lower numbers on a scale equals success. And that's why people latch onto this idea that, oh, I've been successful. I reached target. I didn't stay there for very long, but I reached target. And it creates this idea. And that's why the yo-yo diet industry is so successful itself, because it helps plant that seed. It's the whole reason that you get all the rounds of applause and the awards and the Slimmer of the Week, the Miss Slinky, the Mr. Sleek, the big gala dinners every year. Everybody wants to be. I want that to be me. And the certificates, the badges, the half stone awards, everything, it's all designed to keep rewarding and creating the idea that every pound you lose is something massive to cheer about. And it's not. Not when you're following a plan that's designed to make sure you come back the next year to lose that same weight that you've just lost and had a round of applause for and had a sticker for and a badge and a certificate for. So yeah, they intentionally do this so that when you leave and you are at your target and then you go away for 6 months and you put all the weight back on and more, in your mind, it's, well, do you know what? I had a lot of success with Slimming World. It's like, no, you fucking didn't have any success with Slimming World. If your goal was to lose weight for a little while and put it all back on again and more, then yes, you are 100% a Slimming World success story, because that's what it's designed to do. But people don't think about the after part, because it's very much drummed into you again throughout Slimming World that anything that you do that leads to weight gain or any gain whatsoever, when you step on the scales once a week, is your fault. Success, the credit, when the numbers are coming down, that's us. That's Slimming World. We did that. We helped you achieve that. Numbers going up. Oh, what's happened here? Let's take a look at your food diary. Let's find out where you went wrong. And they constantly, it's like subliminal messaging. They are gradually programming you. And if you've been going for months and years and decades, then you're fucking lost. So why do fad diets not work? Because they don't address the underlying reason. They do not, your weight is where it is because there are a number of things about you that lead you to consume more calories than you need. That's it. It's not any one thing. It's not any one food. It's not any one habit. It's not just because of your portion sizes. It's not just because of chocolate. It's not just because you eat bread twice in one day. It's not because you have a takeaway once a week. It's not because you go out for a drink with your friends once a month. All of these things might be a small piece of the puzzle, but none of them are the reason. There are dozens of reasons why your weight is where it is. And if you want to lose weight for life, you need to, first of all, discover what each of those dozens of reasons are and then work on them individually. We're going to talk about this properly in episode 98. It's on my list to do in episode 98, so this is 90. So it'll be a little while from now, but we'll get into that properly in a full episode. So fad diets. Why do fad diets not work? Because they change nothing about you. I'll leave you with this, okay? This is something that I tell everybody that comes to work with me on day 2 or 3 of the 14-day course. And it's that you do not have a weight problem. Nobody has a weight problem, right? Your weight did not just happen overnight. It did not just appear from nowhere. It's not something that happened to you. It's something you unintentionally did to yourself through your choices, your decisions, your actions, your habits, but then also many things that feel outside of your control, things that you don't understand, your emotional connection with food, the way that you use food sometimes, using it as a coping mechanism. So it's not a blame thing at all, but it's also not a problem. I wrote this somewhere the other day and I loved it. Your weight is the thing that comes after the equal sign in a complex equation. I thought that was very clever, but it is, right? It's your weight is the end result. It's the outcome of a complex equation. Your habits multiplied by your. I'm gonna think up a proper thing for this, like I'm gonna find a formula for it. That's my mission in life now. To find the formula for weight gain, like habits plus mindset divided by something multiplied by something else equals your weight. So it's not as simple as you eat too much or you drink too much or you have too many takeaways. It's everything. It's the way that you think about food. It's the way that you think about food waste and how you clear every plate because you think putting food in the bin's terrible because that's what your mum told you when you were a kid. It's using food as an emotional crutch, using it to lean on when you feel happy or sad or upset or whatever the case might be, using it to procrastinate. You get very overwhelmed. You've got anxiety. You've got things that you need to be doing, but you just look for stuff to fill time, or you use it when you're bored, or you use it when you're lonely. All of these things and countless other things. These are the reasons. These are the reasons. These are the reasons why you have weight to lose. So if I leave you with anything in this episode, it's understand that you do not have a weight problem. You have dozens of other problems of various sizes, mostly minor ones, that all add up to your weight being where it is. And this is why fad diets don't work, because fad diets, all they do is give you a list of instructions to follow. Like, yeah, you're gonna cut out, or you remember all those ones that used to get photocopied and handed around the office, and it, had been photocopied a million times. You could barely make it out. And it's right here is the no whatever challenge. No crisps, no cake, no sweets, no alcohol, no whatever, no fun, no life. And you're going to do that for 3 weeks. Or here's the military diet. I can't even remember what the military diet was. Was that the one with like eggs and something? Can't even remember. Or what's that other fucking super weird one? The super weird one. Oh, but it was like you ate something nice. It was like the pancakes and beans challenge. I've made that up. It wasn't that, but it was like 2 random foods. I can't remember. I hear hundreds of these different variations, but you get the idea, right? Super restrictive. You follow it for 2 or 3 weeks because that's all you can manage. Yes, you lose weight, but what happens? You just go straight back to normal again. The same normal that you haven't changed, the same normal that you haven't addressed, the same normal that led you to gain weight in the first place. Anyway, why fad? There you go. That's why fad diets don't work. Fad diets don't work because they do not change you. And with the whole weight isn't, you don't have a weight problem. Nobody has a weight problem. There are people who have weight problems. Like there are genuinely people who are carrying body fat that they cannot affect through diet. That's a completely separate medical issue. For the vast majority of people here listening to this who are otherwise healthy, you do not have a weight problem. You have a series of other problems that all contribute to you in some shape or form consuming more calories than you need, leading you to gain weight. And if you want to lose weight and keep it off, you need to understand, you need to identify, understand, and address each of those little things, which is exactly it's like 90% of what I do inside the Munro Method. Anyway, that is all from me today. Well, it's not all from me today. It's all from me from this episode. I've got 8 more to do. I will see you next time.